We've had a very upsetting couple of days and nights. 2 days ago we got up and little Ginny, one of our rescue mums who'd been with us not very long, she'd been unwell and had a bit of a respiratory infection. We'd had her on some antibiotics, but she'd taken a bad turn in the night. We took her to the vet and got some stronger antibiotics, but unfortunately later that night, just after midnight, she had a very bad turn and was gasping for breath. I just couldn't leave her all night, so I had an emergency trip to the vets, and they said the only thing was to put her to sleep. So unfortunately we've lost Ginny, so I now have poor Molly on her own. She's always been with her sister, and we're absolutely devastated to lose Ginny because she was such a sweet little girl and just wanted cuddles. She's just really coming out of herself and getting used to being with us. But meanwhile, Molly, we're having to treat her because she was starting to get discharge around her nose and eyes, and we were worried that she'd picked up the infection from her sister. So we're having to give her some antibiotics, and she's in isolation at the moment, but as soon as she's better we'll get her in with some of the other rats. And what I do is I'm going to try and show you how I would give her the medicine. Now if she's on Baytril, which is an antibiotic, you can just mix it with a tiny bit of bio yogurt or a tiny bit of strawberry syrup, or you can put it into the water bottle, but take the advice from your vet. We often use just a little bit of fruit from a corner yogurt to mix a Baytril into, and that's quite nice. But I don't have any corner yogurts today, so what I've done is, I don't know if you can see, she's on, this is not Baytril, this is it's all falling to the bottom of the pot, but just down here there's like little yellow powder. This was a crushed up strong antibiotic for rats. I'm really not sure if you're going to see this, and this is a bit of little crushed up Cheerio. Because it's gritty, the rats often don't like the taste of the grittiness of the tablet antibiotics, so I crush it up a bit. And today I've got a little bit of bio yogurt, just a tiny bit of strawberry yogurt, and I'm going to mix that in to the yellow powder, try and get that all mixed in together, and just put a little tiny bit of the Cheerio in. Sorry, I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing here. And that just is going to disguise the taste of it, and try and get that all off the spoon there. I keep separate spoon for doing my medicines, and we'll see if we can get Molly to come and have some of this. She's usually quite good. Molly, Molly. She's really unhappy without her sister. We have to keep getting her out for cuddles. Molly, look Molly, sweeties. Poor love, she's hiding down the back. Come here, darling. Good girl. Come and have some sweeties. There we go, good girl. She's just going to have that medicine. She's really good at having medicine. She'll take it with you, put it into a bit of fruit or crushed Cheerio or whatever. But some rats, especially with some of the tablet antibiotics, they don't taste very nice, and I think they have a smell that the rats detect, which they really don't like. So this is Molly, and she's looking much better today. She's been on antibiotics for 24 hours, so I'm very hopeful we've caught the infection in her very early and she'll make a full recovery. But good girl. I'm going to let you have the rest off the spoon. There you go. Do you want to lick the spoon? Good girl. I say, a lot of people say you shouldn't give yogurt to rats, but I've always found I test them first with a tiny bit of yogurt. If it doesn't cause any stomach problems, and they like it, then I found it's a really good way to administer the antibiotics. Oh, sorry, just move the camera around. There she is. She's so sweet. Really missing sister, so she's coming out for lots and lots of cuddles. But unfortunately, because we had to put her into isolation, I can't put her with the other rats because if you have several rats, an infection like this could spread really quickly around to the whole colony, and you could end up losing, you know, quite a few of your girls. But there's little Molly, poor darling, aren't you? Hey, she's a poor little girl. I haven't got anything else. She wants to come out and have a run, but I'm having to do her playtime completely separate to the others. She comes out after everyone else has gone back in, and I'm keeping her well away from everybody. But that's poor little Molly with our sad news. We're very, very sad. Good girl. Yay. I think she's blaming me for taking her sister out and not bringing her sister back. But I mean, I would just keep being very gentle and kind with her, and I just hope that she'll forgive me for taking her sister away, because obviously they were very, very close. But that's poor Molly, and we're missing poor little Ginny. But unfortunately, when you rescue rats, when you have animals, these things do happen. And I have to say, I should be used to it by now, but it's getting harder and harder. And get yourself a really good vet, someone who's sympathetic to rats before your rat gets sick, because in an emergency they go downhill really quickly. And that's me and Molly feeling really sad.